Good morning, Precalculus. So we are on to 8.2, part 2. So our first example A says to find an equation in standard form for the ellipse that satisfies the given conditions. The foci are 1, -4, and 5, -4, and my major axis endpoints, which I also know are called vertices, are 0, -4, and 6, -4. Okay, so what we should notice here is I wanna look for a match. So what number is the same amongst all of these? It's the -4, right? It's my y coordinate. -4, -4, -4, -4. Now we know that our center is our h and our k. The second coordinate, the y coordinate, is our k. So what's matching here are my k's. So I want to look at my formula sheet and see which one has the k's matching. The k's are unchanged. That happens on the blue side underneath my x squared, right? The k's are unchanged. The x coordinates will change because I have a h plus a c and minus a c, a h plus a and minus an a. So they are unchanged underneath our blue side or our x side. So that being said, I know that foci is going to be the one with the c, right? So this is, we have a h, this is k. K is what stayed the same in all of these. K stayed the same. Foci goes with c. I have a h plus c and a h minus c. I have a 1 and a 5. Your h plus c is going to be your bigger number. The plus will always be the bigger number. The minus will always be the smaller number. Make sense? So this is actually my h plus c, the 5 is, and my 1 is my h minus c. Okay? So let's take this. I know that my h minus c is the 1, and my h plus c is the 5. All right, we will do elimination. Just add these two up. H plus h gives me 2 h's. The c's will eliminate, and 1 plus 5 is 6. So if we divide both sides by 2, we find out that h is 3. Great. Once we find 1, we always plug it back in. It doesn't really matter where. Let's go down here. We'll plug it back in to find the other variable. So if I went with my h plus c equals 5, then 3 plus c equals 5, which means that my c is 2. Great, that's all I can get from that. I know my h, I know a c, I know my k is -4, good to know. But now I need my a and I need my b. Okay, the major axis endpoints are 0, -4, and 6, -4. We've already said that the k stay the same. Major goes with the letter a. All right, major goes with the letter a. So one of these is my h plus a, the other is my h minus a. And again, the plus is always going to be the bigger number, right? I have 0 and I have 6. So the plus is going to go with the 6. The h minus a is going to go with the 0. All right. Let's see. I really don't have to do elimination because all that will do is find me h. Let's just go with the fact that h plus a equals 6. And I know what h is, right? H is 3. So 3 plus a equals 6, which means that a is 3. All right, I've got almost everything I need, but I need that b. They gave me the c because I'm going to have to use it to find the b. How am I going to do that? I'm going to use, at the very bottom, our Pythagorean relation. So that is not the Pythagorean theorem. The Pythagorean relation is a squared equals b squared plus c squared. All right, so a squared, 3 squared, that would just be a 9, equals b squared, which is what I'm looking for, plus c squared. C was 2, so 2 squared will give me a 4. So if I subtract 4, I find that my b squared is 5. And I don't need to take that square root because b squared is exactly what I need in the equation. Y'all remember the equation? The general form, well, the standard form, I'm sorry. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared all equals 1. And underneath the x is going to be my a squared. Underneath my y will be my b squared. All right, we know we fill in our H, our K, our A, and our B. So my final answer will be X minus H, what was H? H was 3, squared, plus Y minus K, where was K? K from the very beginning, K was negative 4. So if I subtract a negative, I know that's going to be a plus 4, squared. I got my equals 1. And the denominator for my x minus 3 squared would be a squared. That's a 3 squared, that's a 9. And then under here I need my b squared, which was 5. Do not try to make that into a 25. B squared was 5, and that's exactly what I need down there. So that is my answer to A1. Yeah, that just took up a whole board, no problem. Okay, let's move on to A3, because A2 is a star. Give me 1 second. See if we can do this any faster. I'm sure everyone is fast forwarding this part. So A3, I want my major axis endpoints to be 3, -7, and 3, 3. And my minor axis length is 6. Okay. Major axis endpoints, we said those were our vertices. Major, I'm always going with the letter A, right? Major goes with A, minor goes with B. We'll get there in a second. All right, so my major axis endpoints, or my vertices, are 3, -7, and 3, 3. What do I notice that's the same? The 3's, the x coordinates, my h's. Okay, so if the h is the same, then this must be my k plus, we got a, k plus a, k minus a. Again, the plus is always going to go with the bigger number. So k plus a is the 3, k minus a is the -7. Okay, the plus will always go with your bigger option. So let's set this up. K minus a was my -7. K plus a was my 3. Okay, I'm going to add these up, do elimination. K plus k gives me 2 k's. The a's will eliminate. -7 plus 3 gives me -4. And then we divide both sides by 2, and we find that k is -2. All right, once we find 1, remember we always plug it back in somewhere to find the second variable. Let's plug it in here. So -2 plus a equals 3. I would add 2 to both sides, and a would be equal to 5. Great, I've got my a, my k, my h is 3. Now I need to use the fact that they said the minor axis length was 6. The length, minor always goes with the letter B. If the minor axis length was 6, that means that was 2 B's. So if I divide both sides by 2, I find that B is 3. All right, so I think I have everything I need. And if the H is matched, I was on my right side. I was underneath the Y's. All right, so my final formula, the standard formula would be y minus k squared plus x minus h squared equals 1. And my a squared this time would be under the y's, my b squared under the x's. And I'll just fill in everything I know. So y minus k, k was -2. When we subtract a negative, that's a +2 squared plus x minus h. My h from the start was 3 squared equals 1. And my denominator for the y plus 2 squared is my a squared. So 5 squared will give me a 25. And down here, my b squared would be a 3 squared. That would be a 9. And that is your answer to A3. A2 and A4 are stars.